Hello! What's up, guys? Welcome back to part 3 of my Everyman Hybrid Rambling series. We here. Quick recap. Last time was the video Ryan and the 7 Trials of Habit. The group's friend Ryan died in a fucked up car accident. The body didn't look like it died in a car accident. And then also, Ryan had sent them an email earlier in the day about him getting an email himself telling him to do weird stuff. And then I talked about how the dude who had been taking over the Everyman Hybrid Twitter started his own Twitter account, and he goes by the name Habit. So yeah, if you want to know anything that happened before those moments, watch part 1 and part 2. All right, let's just jump into it. All right. So now we're on the video Damsel. In the video Damsel, it is it's one of the best, man. It's one of the best videos on the channel. It's short. It's about 2 minutes, 11 seconds. It's really short, but it's so actually funny. So they go into the hospital that Steph is at, and they go to break her out because Jeff felt bad about getting her put in there. Good man, Jeff. So they're walking down a hallway, they're trying to find it. Evan's like making jokes to Jeff, and then Jeff runs somewhere, and Vinny decides to go ahead and get Steph out of the room that she's in, and because they read the records and they know what room she's in, and then Jeff runs ahead, leaves Evan with the camera, and Evan's like, "I'm not a good cameraman," which is already a pretty funny part. And then Vinny starts running with Steph, and they're running out the building. And then a security guard shows up, and Evan's like, hey, it's a big misunderstanding, man. It's a big misunderstanding. And then Jeff just runs and tackles him, and Evan gets so happy. He's like, "Ooh, good man, Jeff." And he starts running. They get outside, they get to the car. Jeff eventually shows up. And Evan just sounds so excited the whole video. To explain what the video, it's them breaking Damsel out. And then Damsel starts updating her blog and says that they're pretty much just playing like sleepover at Evan's house for the next a week until they feel like it's safe to go bring Steph back to her apartment to go get some things and then go back and kinda, so they're in a perpetual state of sleepover. It's a little fun times, little giddy fun times. It's pretty cool. It's a good ass video, and yeah, and then Steph makes a video on her blog where she pretty much states that she has people now that understand her, so she doesn't feel like she needs the blog anymore, and she quits the blog. So that is the end of the Can You See the Words portion of the story. Steph is now with the Everyman Hybrid boys, and she just doesn't feel like she needs a blog anymore. It's nice. It's a nice little thing. Next video in the timeline is December and early January. God, bruh. Sorry, my mind's just gone like full on blank. Alright, December and early January. It's a lot of just footage of Jeff, Evan, Vinny, and Steph all just like chilling, having fun together. It's nice. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, it's just Felt like something fell on my leg. I didn't know what it was, so I had to check it out. You just saw a little freak out come out of me. You just saw a little. I just had a Slender Man jump scare. Starts coughing up black goo into this thing. Alright, December and early January. In this video, it's just a lot of the four of them having a chill time together. I'll kind of go over the important stuff. Vinny, Vinny and Evan are downstairs and they stole Steph's phone and they're gonna play a prank on her by changing her leave a call message. You know what I mean? And then they find a voicemail left to Steph on it, detailing and it's Jesselyn freaking out about something. And I will read you this part of the description. We also later confronted Stephanie about the saved message on her phone. She was going to tell us. I can understand why she was afraid to mention it. In my eyes, it's simply closure. That was left from Jeff. And then later on in the video, someone kept calling Vinny's phone, talking about keeping Mittens warm. Mittens was Vince's family cat and had passed away a few years ago. The call ticked us off, so we checked out the spot behind Vin's house, just into the woods where they had buried. Oh my god! Just into the woods where they had buried the cat. As you can see, we found some somewhat fresh blood, obviously not belonging to the previously buried cat. Its grave was tarnished. We returned the next morning to fix it. And, yeah. Yeah. That's, and then also at the end of them trying to find, them looking at Min's grave, they encounter Slendy Guy, and in the description it says that they all feel hella sick and have flu-like symptoms. So, yeah, they had a run-in with Slendy Guy. Something's going on with Vin's cat's grave, and Jeff has closure on Jesselyn, which is, you know, pretty good video. The next video on the timeline is 77 of 76.avi. So the description reads, this was on the same USB that contained 78 of 76.avi. Till recently this video wouldn't play and was deemed corrupted. I checked again and it played normally. That's a message from Jeff in the description. And 77 of 76.avi is... Now in 77 of 76.avi, the footage that is there is of Evan, Jeff, and Jeff's brother Alex, and they're walking to the tree at Baldpate Mountain from a day in a life. But they're not wearing the same clothes that they were in a day in a life. And the tree is dead. You can hear sirens blaring in the background. And Evan says something about them going around in circles. There's some weird shit going on in this video, but normal enough. You know what I mean? Normal enough. Alright. So after that, a viewer of theirs, Dancing Weasel, compiled all the Morse code videos into one video. All 4 of the Morse code videos that had come out at that time into one video. And he had sent it to the Everyman Hybrid lads in order for them to potentially attempt to see it. And is the plot of the hidden videos, which is the next video on the timeline. In the hidden videos, the four members, Evan, Jeff, Vinny, and Steph, are all sitting on the ground in like a semicircle around a laptop screen, kind of like how kids would sit crisscross applesauce on a carpet. And they start watching the hidden videos, and there's a little message from the dude that compiled them. At the start, they watch that, and then right after, it starts the first Morse code video. They only get about like 3 seconds into the video, for the screen turns black, and they all just go catatonic for a second, and they start talking like as if they were kids, and they're saying things like we're sorry. Yeah, it was just a game that we would play, Doctor. That we would play in the home, Doctor. We would play pirates with Captain Habit, right? They're saying stuff like that. And this dialogue is, in a lot of ways, almost word for word, something that was on one of the Corinthal documents from a little earlier on in the series. If you... So, yeah. There's... And in the Corinthal documents, it details 4 little kids dubbed the Mining Town 4. And these kids' names are Evan, Jeff, Vinny, and Stephanie. Right? So, there's some shit. There's some shit going on. There's some shit going on with these Corinthal documents. And we're seeing it very apparently now in this video, the hidden video. The next one on the timeline is last week / taking it back. Okay, so in this video, they're trying to take back Alex's room from this creature. They go in there, everything seems fine. They go into the closet, start crawling into the crawl space. Crawl space is way further than they remember it being. Things start going on, like their flashlights start turning off and all kinds of stuff like that. And when they crawl out, when they get to the end of the crawl space, they crawl out into around the Baldpate Mountain area, like from A Day in a Life. They crawl out at Baldpate Mountain from all the way from Jeff's house. Just fucking wild. And then they have Vinny come pick him up. It's fucking... Shit's wild. Shit's wild. And then in this video, it cuts 2 days later. Evan and Jeff are going to investigate Alex's room again. Evan says something like, so he brought a knife with him into Alex's room, obviously, right? And they lost all those items when they crawled into the crawl space and appeared out of it at Baldpate Mountain. Evan said that his knife had appeared on his bed with the sheath in it, with the sheath on it, like he never touched it. So, you know, weird shit. So they go into Alex's room, and Jeff finds a slip of paper on the ground that has incomplete text on it. And Evan's checking in the closet, and the crawl space is fully gone. It's like there's never been a crawl space before. There's just wall there now. Weird shit is going on in Alex's room, you know? So the next video on the timeline is a video from Rabbit 98. Now, Rabbit, now during the 7 Trials of Habit, Rabbit would sometimes, Habit would Oh my god. Woo. Brain fart. Alright. Habit would one call the people who entered rabbits, right? Rabbits and then with a number after it. So like rabbit number 98 and other, other numbers also. There was about like 150 plus rabbits that I can remember. That's the number that I can remember, or estimated around. There was like 150 plus rabbits. But rabbit number 98 got part of that slip of paper that Jeff had found in the that Jeff had found in the Alex's room. And yeah, so but it's still not a complete message. And that leads us into the next video. Next video is titled Rose, and it's a short little video of Vinny telling us, the viewers, that their friend Jessie, her grandmother, had been murdered, and then Evan gets angry and tells Vinny to shut the camera off because we as viewers don't need to know this kind of shit, but maybe we do, right? It's a very short video, only 32 seconds long. After this, the Everyman Hybrid boys go visit their friend Jessie, and because Jessie has connection to this Dr. Corenthal through some family members, and Jessie leads them to a storage locker. This video is genuinely one of the best videos in the series. So I highly recommend everyone watch it. It's called The Corenthal Connection, in parentheses, Jessie's Back. So they go to this storage locker and they're looking around, and in the storage locker they see a big slender guy, and then right after, a man shows up and puts down a rocking, an old rocking horse, and says something like, "I'm sorry, guys. I'll miss you. I failed you." It's something like that, right? It's something like that. So, yeah. I don't want to go too in-depth on this video. Experience for yourself. Give those Everyman Hybrid boys some views, right? So the video is called The Corenthal Connection. After that, they, Vinny and Jeff have an interview with a fan. And the fan is asking them questions like, "How'd you guys do the effects on that Slender Man?" And Vinny's like, Vinny and Jeff pretty much explain to him, "Yo, this is happening. This is happening to us." It's pretty, and then right after that they just leave, right? Because they're getting really nowhere with this interview. So yeah. Then right after that leads into the video, One Step Forward, Two Steps Back. Alright, so the next video is One Step Forward, Two Steps Back. In it, Vinny and Jeff are talking about going to the library to try and look up some stuff about the things that they found in the storage locker, a couple of hard drives, and just all kinds of, random stuff. They're going to go to the library and investigate it, right? Alex comes down, and they ask him if he wants to go to the library with them. Says, "I'm going to go ask Mom." And Jeff and Vinny are visibly distraught from this. And we kind of get revealed that Jeff's parents had died about a year prior to the series even being started. And Alex still talks as if they were alive, right? So Alex goes to ask Mom. He comes back. Comes back with a boom box. He asks the air, I'm going to say he asks nothing, if he could go to the library. And a voice on the boombox, a female voice, most likely his mom, responds back with a, "Nah, not tonight, Al. It's getting late." And Alex is like, "Sorry guys, I can't go." And then Jeff is like, What do you mean, man? It's like 10 in the morning." Vinny, so they go to the library. Vinny gets the girl at the library's number. Nice. Shout out Vin. Shout out Vin for that one. The girl at the front desk name is Lexi, by the way. They got a number for a police department that the Mount Pocono Police Department, and they're in the car, and Jeff is trying to call them, and from this call gets revealed that the sheriff that they're looking for killed himself about a year prior. And they talk about how it seems like every single lead that they have is dead or ends up dead or is a dead end. So, the next scene in this video, Jeff is looking through articles that he had typed up. And he talks about how he couldn't get into their MediaFire account. How something about a password change. Interesting. Oh my god. And what these articles are about is about Dr. Corenthal. A lot of Dr. Corenthal stuff. If you want to know more about that, head over to the Nightmind channel, watch Nightmind's Everyman Hybrid Explained video. Give Nightmind views. Give Nightmind views. Give Everyman Hybrid views. Give Nightmind views. Give both of them views. Do it. Do it. Do it, pussy. Yeah, I said it. Okay. So, another thing that they're talking about is they found this little black box that was going rick tick tick in the storage locker. So that box has some significance. So at the end of this video, when they're still just like sitting together looking at stuff, Alex is looking out into the backyard. So looks a little freaked out, and he just goes, "Sparky," and he opens the door and he runs out into the backyard. And Evan and Jeff go with him, and they hold him back a bit, and Evan goes out further to explore, and that thing is back. The rake is back, and it took Sparky. Rest in peace, Alex's dog, Sparky. One true homie, am I right? One true homie. Alright, next video, May and June. So, this video is just a little update on the situation. Oh, God. Video starts out with Jeff narrating. Talking about how they got a weird clip, and it'll play at the end. Then the video starts with footage of the rake in the woods, and he's like crawling on all floors like this, and he's dragging something away, some kind of animal. Hopefully not, but most likely Sparky, maybe, I don't know. I can't remember what they say about this footage. I think they said they got it sent to them, but I'm not sure. I highly recommend everyone go watch this video, May and June, because even just for that small scene of the rake, it's so good. It's so fucking good. Such a fucking good. Like, it's genuinely such a fucking good scene. And I recommend everyone just go watch Everyman Hybrid in general. Give them boys views. Boom. Ba-boom. Okay, so they explain that they got that clip of the rake sent to them by habit in an email. No text in the email, no subtext in the email, nothing like that. Just that video. They are also pretty sure that was what was in Alex's closet and what was terrorizing Alex. They're also pretty sure that that's what they saw at that building in the video Cops Checked No Body with the dead girl, who I'm pretty sure is Lenny. Pretty sure that would be Lenny. Vinny also confirms that he's been dating that girl from the library that he got the number from. He's been dating Lexi. So shout out my man Vin. Shout out my man Vincent. Ba-boom. In the next clip, the homies are having a little movie night. Jeff, Evan, Vinny, Alex, their friend Daniel, and their friend Jesse. Having a little movie night. A little chill time movie night, right? A little having some fun with the lads. And then Alex sits down on the couch and he has a sock puppet on, and Vinny asks, "Hey, what's that?" And then Alex goes, "Sparky," right? Sparky just died, as we all know. Rip Spark. And yeah. So Jeff goes off to talk to him. And then the scene picks up from there, where it's the homies talking to each other about what just happened while Jeff goes and talks to Alex. And so Evan and Vinny start talking a little bit, and they, talk about how Jeff won't take Alex to somewhere to get his mind checked out or anything like that. And Jeff just keeps saying, like, I need to protect him. And it's pretty much the important part that comes from that little part right there. The next clip after that is Jeff talking about the little black box that they found in the storage locker. Doesn't do anything as far as they know at the moment. So, or hasn't done anything since the storage locker. So no progress on that yet. But then oh, sorry. I thought I had it paused. I'm not even kidding. And then the next part is, I'm guessing right after the Sparky situation happened, Jeff records a little thing, and they're still looking through the stuff in the storage locker, and Jeff comes across a picture of what looks like young Evan and an older man in like a pool. So like a fatherly son kind of situation. They look like father and son. But the child looks exactly, as Evan describes, looks exactly as me when I was younger. Right? This little young Evan is hanging out with an older man, aka aka not sneeze noise, not aka sneeze noise, aka Dr. James Corenthal. And yeah. Alright, next clip The lads are all hanging out outside, right? The lads are all hanging out outside around a little patio table, right? It's Evan, Jeff, Vinny, Alex, and their friend Daniel. And they start. Vinny hears some shit. Evan and Jeff also hear some shit, right? And they all go to investigate. They tell Daniel and Alex to stay back, right? And then they go off to investigate this noise. Then next it cuts to footage of Alex and Daniel catching up to the boys, and Evan is pulling out a emergency machete out from under Vinny's car. You know you got a good friend when they plant the emergency machete on someone's car. Respect. So Evan goes and grabs his emergency machete. They go back around the house. Jeff and Vinny go into the garage. They both grab weapons. Vinny grabs an axe. Jeff grabs hedge cutters, right? Not horrible choices for weapons. Maybe the hedge cutters aren't the best, but who knows? You could do some damage. Start snipping in front of you, right? Alex and Daniel don't hear this noise that they're hearing. And yeah. But Alex and Daniel hope that they're fucking with them. Probably not, though. Alex sees what they're seeing in the forest. And then it cuts to them back up on the porch. And Evan's covered in a bunch of blood. Vinny's covered in less blood than Evan. And Jeff's also covered in less blood than Evan. Evan's covered in a lot of blood. And then Jeff starts talking to Evan. And he's like, hey man, that was a fucking deer. And Evan slaughtered a deer in the forest and slaughtered it so hard that it was enough to get on Jeff and Vinny. After May and June, you get the 5th and final Morse code video, which is titled // period. There's way too much shit to explain for this video. It's one of the best videos on the channel, though. There's so much shit to explain for this video. So I'm going to explain, because the Morse code videos are all cut up into these, like, little clips and stuff like that. And they all, they're jumbled messes of videos. So I'm going to explain each section in its own little section. So for the first section, I'm going to explain the EMH boys sitting around some candles. The Candleverse footage. That is what I will dub it and what I will call it. So in this footage, Evan, Jeff, and Vinny are all sitting around some candles, and they are definitely more knowledgeable versions of their characters than the ones that we know. These boys are definitely not the same Evan, Jeff, or Vinny that we have gotten to know in the series. These boys are much more knowledgeable. They know about Dr. Corinthal, they know about The Habit, they know about all kinds of shit, man. They're talking about iterations and, like, living through multiple different lives. They're talking about... They know about the 7 trials of habit going on Twitter. they there's this really funny part in the video where there's something recording them while they have this conversation, and they talk about how they can never get used to that 1,000-yard stare and what is this thing, and stuff like that. And as you'll learn later on, what they're talking about is one of Habit's little cameraman zombies. They're just these like fucking horrible little creatures. You never get to see what they look like in the series, but they do come back in the series. They're just these little like cameraman goblin things, right? That just they're really good at recording. They're good little cameramen. But they're not. You know, they don't comprehend things most likely. They don't really do much. But they are good little cameramen. But yeah, this version of Evan, Jeff, and Vinny is like, they know what's up. They're talking about like, we need to wait for Steph to get back. They're talking about like we know how tough Dr. Corenthal is. He did this all for us, right? All for us. Right? This is like they know what the hell is going on, man. In this like Candleverse footage, they also have Evan chained up because at a moment's notice, the Habit can take over. And at the end of the clip, that does happen. Evan starts freaking out, really wanting the key, and it looks like he's about to attack Jeff. Right? Footage cuts out after that, but yeah. While this Candleverse footage is going on, there's little side footage, and they're talking about the creature that's stalking Jeff's brother Alex, and how it had many opportunities to kill them, but it never went for them. But it only will go after Alex, which is suspicious to them, which is sus among us to them, right? Bum 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 bum. Wow wow. And also some footage. A lot of random footage also placed during this video. The way I'm going to be explaining this Candleverse video is the way I'm going to be explaining this Morse code video is very fucking sporadic, and like, because I just need to. It's such a good video. Go watch it for yourself. You'll understand. It's the last Morse code video. It's called /./. I don't know, you'll find it. It's the one with the thumbnail where the dudes are sitting around the candles, alright? Fucking find it for yourself. Go give Everyman Hybrid views. Do it. No balls. You won't go give Everyman Hybrid views. No balls. Also, footage plays of the rake crawling across the street. It's absolutely terrifying. Looks fucking amazing. Go check it out. Go watch it. Go check it out. Right after that rake footage, it plays a clip of Daniel asking them, so what's been going on? And Evan's like, look at my fucking arm, man. It's all fucked up. And then it cuts to more Candleverse footage, and they're asking like, where's Steph? Have you seen her? No, I haven't seen her in a few weeks. Cuts after that little part in the Candleverse, right? Well, they're asking where Steph is, right? And then they talk about like, never seems to want us apart. I mean, it never seems to want us truly together, huh? Then it cuts to new footage, and they're talking about how maybe the tall man has stake in them, and he doesn't want that thing attacking them. And cuts back to Candleverse footage. In the Candleverse footage, they're talking about maybe we'll see her again soon. Vinny also talks about getting a warning, but before he says the warning, he mentions how, he got a warning for the past 2 weeks. Also, who knows how time? Who knows if it was weeks? We don't even however the fuck time works here. Vinny says that something big is gonna happen, gentlemen. He could feel it. In a lot of ways, I'm quoting exactly what they're saying in the episode. Because to explain it to you right now, I am watching it. I pause it. I recap what I just watched. Go back to watching it, and that's how I'm doing it for this video at least. Because it's way easier for me. Because so much goes down. This is one of the biggest info dump episodes in the whole series. Go watch it for yourself. Go give those Everyman Hybrid boys views. Do it. Next scene, candle burst footage. It's just, they're talking about the camera goblin, and they're talking about knowing about the 7 trials of habit. Then it cuts back to current Evan, Jeff, Vinny talking about, it attacks your brother, man, but your brother has had no stake in this since he's had no contact with this stuff, and, maybe we're already marked goods, and that thing can't touch us, but the tall guy can, right? The next bit of Candleverse footage, they start talking about the doctor and how that thing got to the doctor. Then it cuts to footage of someone in a field with a man and a woman. They're at that tree at Ballpate, and there's an older man and an older lady there. And then cuts to the next scene, and Evan's like, cuts to the next scene, back down with the present boys that we know, and they're still talking about being promised goods, and Evan's like, it's fucking weird, man. I don't want to feel like someone's got its hands on us. In the next bit of Candleverse footage, it talking about how the doctor trucked on for 30 years, all for them. And how at one point he put one in Evan's eye right here. Boom. Most likely Evan taken over in a moment, in a habit moment. Cuts back to current Evan, Jeff, Finney talking in the basement still about the rake and Alex and all that stuff. They just talk about how, it could have killed him, but it didn't. So it seems more and more likely that they are marked goods, that they're safeguarded, but Alex isn't, and they need to keep a closer eye on Alex, and also that Sparky seemed to be Alex's only friend. He's got a few friends in school, but ever since their parents died, Sparky was, Alex's person. And yeah. Then we cut back to Candleverse. And this shit's big. This shit's big. This opens up a big concept into the series. So they're talking about, how after this iteration, they'll go back, have a nice little war buddy talk with Dr. James Corenthal. Now listen to that word, iteration. The meaning of the word iteration. Now, I don't know the exact definition of it, but essentially iteration means doing something over and over again until you get it right. This iteration. When we're done with this iteration, we'll go back, we'll have a little war buddy chat with them. This opens up a big can of worms into the series that I think is one of the coolest parts of the storyline. And it's the iteration theory. That Evan, Jeff, and Vinny, and Steph are all tied into this, cycle of death and rebirth. Where They die and then they come back. Uh, and it's where, you know, if we're going off of the definition of iteration, trying something over and over again until you get it right, that would mean that there is an end goal that you need to reach in this whole cycle of death and rebirth. And Evan, Jeff, and Vinny and Steph haven't reached that goal yet. But they keep being reborn every time. Right? They'll die to the monsters some point, and then they'll come back. Right? But when they come back, most likely things are different. Things aren't how they used to be. Like, I'm gonna open up a big can of worms with this series right now in this little talk that really hasn't been explored yet, but you will see later on that it does get explored pretty hard. And also has already kind of been explored. But I will explain and digress. So, you know how they will... These four characters that we've become accustomed to, these main characters in the story, they, you know, they be doing shit, man, right? They've most likely been set up from the start as food for the gods. And what I mean by that is that they live out, they will each individually live out different lives. Evan, Jeff, Finney, and Steph. And then eventually, they'll be killed by some kind of wild entity. And most people, if that happened to them, they're dead, right? They're dead. They're fully dead. But not for them. They come back. They're born into a new timeline with new families, new friends, new people around them. Hell, maybe they'll find each other in that timeline, like this version of Evan, Jeff, and Vinny. Right? In this timeline, they know each other. Eventually, they even found Steph. And they're all four together, communicating, having chill times and bad times together, right? But hell, that might not even be a thing, right? Ugh. Some timelines, they all are off doing their own thing. Then eventually they all individually die, get reborn, and start a new timeline. That's pretty much the iteration theory, the basic of it. But we've already explored this a little bit in the series with hell, maybe sometimes I think it's when, like, if they all four die, that's when an iteration reset truly happens. Right? But, like... Ugh. But, like, let's say, like, Evan dies. But that iteration isn't really complete yet. Then Evan's back the next day, and he, you know, has new clothes on, and maybe he's acting different, maybe he's not, right? We've seen that happen a few different times in the series already. Remember when they ran over Slenderman in the car and then woke up in Evan's basement? right? They all four didn't die in that moment, but three of them did. And what happened? They woke back up in Evan's basement, right? Completely fine. They remembered everything that happened before that. Boom. They're good, right? We've already seen this in small scale. Uh, you know, character character walks through a doorway and they have different clothes on. And also, yeah. It's like, how do we not know that someone didn't just die off camera, right? And boom, they're dead. And then, but in a second later they're back, right? We've seen this a lot already. We just didn't know what it was, right? The iteration theory is hands down one of the most interesting parts of Everyman Hybrid for me. It is so cool. It is so fucking cool. And as you will see later on in the series, there is a lot more to the iteration theory. It is as the series goes on, I will tie more things to that theory as we go on. But there's big shit coming, man. Now back. Oh, and also that's one of the reasons. So there's a Corinthal document a bit earlier on that talked about the Mining Town 4, the young Evan, Jeff, and Vinny, and Steph, having these things called group relapses, where they all start freaking out, and they start talking in weird ways, and sometimes they'll disappear, and sometimes they'll lock themselves in their room for like a week, not eating, and just like random little moments. These group relapses that these kids would have that share the same names as our four main characters. In the video, the hidden videos where they try to watch the Morse code videos, and then boom, they start talking like little kids again. They start talking like from one of the Corinthal documents documenting the Mining Town 4. In that video, they experienced a group relapse because they watched footage from a different iteration. Right? Those Morse code videos are showing us footage from a different iteration. But, yeah. The iteration theory is fucking awesome. I love it. It's one of the coolest parts of Everyman Hybrid. And I just needed to go hella in depth on that. Alright. Now back to this final Morse code video. We got a little under a minute left of things for me to kind of go over in this. So after that little iteration talk, Evan asks if he can have the keys back. Then it cuts to underwater footage of someone down there. And then the next scene cuts back to the tree at Baldpate with the older man and the older lady there. And you get revealed that this is Jeff and Alex's parents. And they're talking about buying a little cabin up around the Baldpate area once Alex gets out of middle school. And then cuts to some random footage that I don't really know the context of. So, go watch the video to see for yourself. Give Everyman Hybrid views. Right, I've said that like 100 times. Fucking do it. Go watch Everyman Hybrid. It's fucking amazing. God, this is gonna be a long ass video. I just looked at the time. For this section that I'm recording right here, we just reached the 30-minute mark of this section. But I know that there's like another section before it that's gonna be either 20 minutes or almost 20 minutes. So this is gonna be like a 50+ minute long video. This is gonna be a long one. And then the final scene is Evan attacking Jeff because he wants the keys back. This is cuts back to Candleverse footage, right? Candleverse Evan attacks Candleverse Jeff because he wants the keys back. And that is the end of the video. That is how the video ends. Ugh. And that is also where I am going to stop for now. Ugh. This has been... Oh, shit. This has been Everyman Hybrid Ramblings number 3. I fucking love this series, man. I fucking love this series so much. I love Everyman Hybrid so much. And I hope I can even get just one person to go and watch it for themselves. Because I know damn well I'm not explaining it that well. I'm leaving out a lot of shit too. A lot of important shit. Ugh. The next part will come soon. Thank you for watching. I'm not gonna end it with a bro fist this time. I'm gonna end it with a go watch Everyman Hybrid, you bitch. It's free on YouTube, you bitch. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Go do it. I love you. Bro fist.